Before the talk, let's pay respect to the Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you all today in person, finally. And I miss you all. And normally, in the past few years, every time when I join the program, I carry my iPad with me. But today, I carry some books instead of the iPad. So it's good to see you all. And how much time do I have today? 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Okay. Because I wanted to let you have some time to talk to each other, to share your thoughts, after I finish the talk. In the past many talks, I used this book. Probably many of you have seen this book online, okay? And the Buddha Speaks. And we study the first part. After that, recently, we are continuing to study this book. That is a second part. The second part is clarity. And when we talk about clarity, it simply means when we observe the phenomena around us, we want it to be clear in mind, correctly understand the changes around us. Also, even including when we observe ourselves, we have to have a right view about I. And basically, they are fundamental teachings of a Buddha about clarity. But today, instead of use these books' contents, I wanted to use another book, What Buddhists Believe. And I wanted to introduce a part of the contents of this book to you. Because today, I hope we can learn something about the teaching of cause and effect. It's important in Buddhism. As a Buddhist, in our mind, when we see things around us, we have to understand what causes what in order to be able to manage yourself properly in daily life. If we are confused, we ignore the facts, then we may produce negative causes for negative consequence. This is what we don't want to do. We should avoid. But every time when we think about the law of cause and effect, normally in everyday's talk, in Buddhist temples, we use the concept of a karma. Karma is very important for us to study. Nowadays, when you check on the dictionaries in English, karma is the word in it. So you can actually study this word from dictionaries, not like before. Before it always stay in Buddhist temples only. So karma is the fundamental teaching of the law of cause and effect. There's no wrong to use these ideas to explain phenomena of life. But at the same time, we wanted to clearly understand what is the definition of a karma. Yeah. Basically, karma means we are what we do, we are what we say, we are what we think. When we think on something that is good, the motivation is good, we are going to have a positive action follow. Then we can produce good karma. If we think wrongly, with wrong understanding, there's ignorance, the motivation is very negative, then the negative action will follow. Those actions will produce wrong consequence, negative consequence. So first, we have to understand the definition of karma. So it simply means today, part of my life being influenced by yesterday's doing. At the same time, today's doing will affect tomorrow's life. So let's think in this way. Something being connected, related with each other. Okay, something about the past, the present, and the future. And karmic force can relate our life in this way, good or bad. Many years ago, maybe 30 years ago, I went to a prison in south of Texas regularly because I had a program over there to meet a few inmates in the prison. After I met them for some time, one day we had conversation. Then I asked the leader of the group who invited me to go to prison. I said, why you are here? He said, Venerable Han Yi, a few years ago, someone killed my older brother. And I was so angry. I loved my brother so much. Then I decided to kill another person. So one day I killed that person myself. Of course, police finally arrested him, and the judge sentenced him to stay in prison maybe for 15 years or 20 years. So when we see this kind of story, this kind of a phenomena, it's very easy for us to use the concept of karma to explain what's going on. Why you are here? Because of his own karma. Okay, and it's easy to understand. But the more we observe, the more we see, changing phenomena around us. Sometimes, even myself, I feel it's complicated for me to explain everything by using the concept of karma. I think many of you heard that Morocco had earthquake not long ago. About 2,000 people perished. And after that, Libya, because of flood, more than 10,000 people passed away because of the flood. Those people should die in one day at the same time. It's complicated. It's complicated. Yeah. And how are we going to explain that kind of a phenomenon? Do they have to die in one day? And it's not easy to answer. Okay. And also, many years ago, because I wanted to learn English, 30 years ago, one day I was driving on the road. I used to turn on 7:40 a.m., listen to the radio, improve my ability to listen to, on English. Suddenly there's a news. It says that the police department of Houston, they study this phenomenon for many years. They discover, according to their statistics, every summer, the car accident will be increased for about 30%. Every summertime, car accident on the road will be increased to about 30%. Of course, finally, they try to explain what caused this. They say because of the hot weather. A lot of drivers, they don't have patience on the road. Sometimes they are careless because of the heat, and maybe they cannot focus. There are some reasons. After I listened to this news, actually I contemplate on this news for some time. Car accidents increased for 30% in summertime. There are a lot of causes, including karma. Somebody drive with a very bad behavior. Okay, maybe some caused by karma. At the same time, there are other factors. The police department told us the weather effects on the car accidents on the road of our drivers. And also, including myself, in 2013, I was very ill. Doris, do you remember I was ill for almost 1 year? Pretty long, for a long time. And one day, a member talked to me. He showed his sympathy on my illness. He said, "Venerable Han Yi, I don't understand. You are a good monk. You served the temple for so many years. You accumulate good karmas, merits. Why you are ill right now? Why you are sick? How are you going to answer this person for me?" Because of my previous karma caused this, or maybe some wrongdoing in this life. Sometimes it's complicated. Of course, finally I discovered that there's one cause, I'm sure, that caused my illness. I couldn't eat. The food produced heat because my stomach was so hot in those days. I should not eat ginger, spicy food, including pizzas, French fries, and durian. Yeah, it's going to produce a lot of heat. So anything that is going to produce heat, after eating those food, I don't feel comfortable. So I changed my diet. According to one Chinese doctor in Houston, he told me, he said, "Venerable Han Yi, you should eat more bitter melon. It's going to cool your stomach. You should eat more watermelon every day." So I ate a lot of watermelon and bitter melon in the summertime. And finally, of course, I took some Chinese herbs to balance the body. Finally, I got well from the illness. So today, I have a chance to talk to you, to introduce my experience to you. If I think wrongly in different way, because of my karma, perhaps there's a kind of a pressure inside me at the same time. How am I going to, improve my health? So we have to be clear to find the cause for this illness, not a wrong understanding to guide us on different way. Some people told me, "Venerable Han Yi, do you know what caused your illness? Because you built this J Buddha temple long time ago, you destroy some living beings, place. And so they are not happy about this." So they wanted to, to make me feeling ill. And even another person told me that in Taiwan, I didn't know him before. He said, "Your father passed away for many years. He's not been saved. You should save him, liberate him." And so there are a lot of saying around me. As a monk, I have to have a right understanding in order to find out the right causes. Okay, after I contemplate on those stories, those factors, suddenly I wanted to reread this book again, because in this book, Venerable Dhammananda, he introduced 5 niyamas to us, including karma niyama. There are 5 causes for everyday's life. That means every day we see so many changing phenomena around us, including ourselves. There are 5 kind of factors or causes to influence those changes. We have to recognize those 5 niyamas in order to have a right understanding. So let me read his writing in this paragraph. Okay, I think I can see it. Venerable Dhammananda says, although Buddhism says that a person can eventually control his or her karmic force, it does not state that everything is due to karma. Buddhism does not ignore the role played by other forces of nature. According to Buddhism, there are 5 orders of process of natural laws we call niyama, which operate in the physical and mental worlds. 1, Utu niyama, relating to the physical inorganic order, seasonal phenomena of winds and rains. 2, Bija niyama, biological laws relating to the order of germs and seeds. 3, Karma niyama, karmic law, relating to moral causation or the order of act and results. 4, Dharma niyama, natural phenomena relating to electrical forces, movements of tides, etc. Sita niyama, psychological laws which govern the process of consciousness. Sometimes I call this law free will. Every day we make decisions. Not every day. So many decisions. Actually, we're making decisions every day, not based on karma. Right now, you can make decision. How long that we want to stay in this hall? We can make decision right away. And according to Dhammananda, Venerable Dhammananda's material, actually, I spent some time on dictionaries, on many books, in a library. I searched 5 niyama for many years. Somehow, I couldn't find any material in Mahayana school. I couldn't find it. The only material that I found in the library was a long time ago, one article mentioned 5 niyama, simply those names of niyama, no explanation. I couldn't know where it's originated, from. So I started to search for many years. Long time ago, I did not have iPhone for me to go online, to search Google. Nowadays, it's more convenient. So a few years ago, I started to use my iPhone to search online. Finally, I discovered that in Theravada school, the Buddhist communities in Sri Lanka, in Myanmar, in Thailand, and it's very, very easy to find 5 niyamas in their teachings. Venerable Dhammananda taught us this. At the same time, Venerable Naruda, let me make sure his name. Venerable Narada in Sri Lanka, in his book, The Buddha and His Teaching, also he mentioned 5 niyama, the same like Venerable Dhammananda. So in Theravada school, they always mention 5 niyamas when they talk about causes and effects. It's very interesting for me to discuss this. Then I go further and further. Finally, I discover actually 5 niyama taught by Venerable Buddha Gosa 1500 years ago, a great teacher in Sri Lanka, who accomplished Pali canon, Pali baskets for Buddhist communities. Okay. So remember his name, Buddha Gosa. He lived in Sri Lanka for many years. Actually, he's originally from India, but somehow he spent the most of his lifetime in Sri Lanka, collecting all Pali sutras, put them into different categories. Then he wrote commentaries about those Nikayas. From his commentary on Dikhan Nikaya, 那个6号长阿含啊 ，the long Nikaya, Dikhan Nikaya. So when he explained part of the sutra, Nikaya, then he mentioned those 5 niyamas, 5 laws of cause and effect. That is the original material for us to learn 5 niyamas. So today, I wanted to introduce 5 niyamas to you. And at the same time, I wrote an article, a long article, for our magazine. It's all in Chinese. It's pretty long, so I spent some time on the article. I wish someday maybe someone can translate this article into English for you so you can read my writing. Because I feel it's important to introduce 5 niyamas to Mahayana school. And we wanted to learn 5 niyamas in order to correctly understand cause and effect. Okay. And also, according to Milanda Sutra, long time ago, many years ago, I don't know, Michi, you remember Milanda Sutra, Nagarjuna, Venerable Nagarjuna. He's the one who explained all kinds of questions, answer questions by asking by Milanda, King Milanda in northern India. According to this sutra, actually there's a question. It says that when people died, do they die in the right time? When I die, should I die today? Or if I die today, should I die today? According to Venerable Nagasina's answer, he said actually there are 2 kinds of death. One died on the right time. That means the fruit is ripe, naturally dropping on the ground. And a certain death is not in the right time. We call this meet with a sudden death. In Chinese, we say this 横死. Someone should not be dead, but somehow he's not alive today. He should not be dead. He should be alive. But certain thing happened suddenly. So meeting with a sudden instant, he passed away. We call this 横死. 横死, that means it's not normal death. Okay, in this sutra, Venerable Nagasena explained that some fruits still green, it's not ripe yet. But somehow there is strong wind blowing in this place. It's going to drop down some fruits. by the force of the wind. Sometimes, those kids are playful, using sticks to hit on the tree, knocking down some green fruits, dropping on the ground. So there are certain deaths not caused by karma, caused by certain kind of reason. We call this 横死, okay? Immature, premature death, okay? Okay, let me use the sutra explanation. There are seven kinds of death in this kind of situation. Okay. First one, someone is hungry, but no food to eat, so he passed away. Death caused by hunger. Someone who been hit by certain, force and damaging his organs, he cannot continue to survive. Someone who's very thirsty, but no water to drink, died from thirst. Someone been bit by poison snake, no medication, so he passed away. And someone who's eating poison food, no medication to help, he passed away. Someone who don't know how to swim, jumping into the water, he drowned. Someone who's facing a big fire, no place to escape, burned by fire. I wanted to ask you another question. Not long ago, there was fire in Hawaii. About 1,000 people. No, I don't know how many people.
Now it's like 97.
97. Okay, 97. Some disappeared. Okay, now they count 97. Okay. Okay, 97 people passed away. Should they die in this kind of instant? Can we prevent those incidents in the future? Can the local government to do something to better the safety of the citizens in Maui? Definitely we can improve the condition in a certain way. One road in Taiwan is built in this way. Go straight, then suddenly there's a turn. Go straight, there's a turn. Causing car accidents during the night. A lot of drivers thought the street was straight. So they continue to drive. Then they end up in the lake. Finally, the government improved the road condition, make it safer, prevent car accidents in that area. So when we can improve the condition to better our safety, environment, then that means we cannot blame all the karmas all the time. Okay, so this is my talk for today, and I do wish that even though you cannot remember all the contents, but please remember this term, 5 Niyama. Maybe search this term, Niyama, N-I-Y-A-M-A, Niyama, 5 Niyama, okay? And let's understand those Niyamas correctly in order to understand the cause and effect correctly. And also find out what we should do, what we should not do. So in everyday life, okay, let me use one example. Maybe it's easy to understand. 5 Niyamas. Almost every one of you drive to the temple, is right? When you go out, you wanted to drive your car. If you see your car has a flat tire, are you going to drive? Should you say, I'm a good man, I never do anything wrong today, I will be safe to drive this car? No way. You know, the law of physics tell you that it's not safe to drive the car. How about when you wanted to start the engine, you feel you have dizziness, and you cannot really control the wheel. Are you going to drive the car? No, your physical condition is not safe for you to drive. Okay. And how about if the weather is so bad? Okay, there's heavy rain coming to Houston. There's hurricane coming through Houston. Are you going to drive the car on road? No, the weather is not good. It's dangerous, to drive the car. We should go, to a safer place. Don't drive the car on the water, under the bridge. Okay. How about? Okay. There's another question. What is the reason for you to drive the car? Because I wanted to go to J Buddha Temple to join the Dharma program. That is good. How about if someone say, no, the reason for me to drive the car because I wanted to rob the bank. I wanted to go out and rob the bank. Definitely that is not good karma. You should not, drive the car to go to bank. Do something that is unlawful. And so every day we are facing all those kind of factors around us. We have to understand what's caused what and what kind of decision we should make at the moment. So we should see everything as a whole and understanding that even driving the car, if you see the car is not safe to drive, the brake is not working, don't drive the car. Yeah. We cannot say, I'm a good monk, I'm a good person, and I accumulate so many good karmas. It will be safe, for me to drive the car with a flat tire or without a brake. No way. I think that is the example that I wanted to present to you. Let us understand those 5 niyamas correctly. Okay, let me stop